Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back in video pembelajaran of SMA Negeri 1 Sentul. I'm Oktina Utami and you are in English lesson. This lesson is for Bahasa Inggris Wajib for the 11th graders with the materials is Analytical Basic Competence in Semester 1 of the academic year of 2021 and 2022. Before we go to the discussion, let me remind you to keep protecting yourself and others from COVID-19 by physical distancing, wearing masks, keep room well ventilated, avoiding crowds, and cleaning your hands. Let's firstly talk about the purpose of this lesson. So after you complete all of the discussions, you will aim at mastering 3 competencies. Those are social functions, text structures, and language features. In social functions, we are going to discuss about the topic of the text, communicative purpose, and the effect of the text for the readers. The second purpose of the analytical exposition text is the text structure. While in language features, you will learn the tense used in analytical exposition text and the conjunctions appear in the text. Okay class, so it's time to check what kind of topic we are going to discuss today. Here we go. I have a text, but it is still in the form of jumbled paragraph. I want you to read them carefully and decide the good order of the text. Check this out. It's a very simple task, I guess. So, are you ready to arrange them into a good order of the text? Let's check your answer. You have already read an example of analytical exposition text. Firstly, let's discuss the social function. Number 1, topic. Talking about topic, there are some kinds of usual questions that you may find asking about topic, such as what is the topic of the text or what does the speaker talk about. So can you guess what is the topic of the text we have read? Where can we find this kind of information? Yes, you're right. From the beginning of the text, let's check the first paragraph.
Here is the opening paragraph of the text. The first sentence of the paragraph is, "A healthful diet includes a variety of fruits and vegetables of many colors, whole grains and starches, good fats and lean proteins." While the last sentence is, "There are many benefits to eating healthfully." There are some similar words that can be the keywords, such as eating healthfully, healthful diet, and benefit.
Number 2, communicative purpose. The questions usually use this sentence. Why does the writer discuss about? Or what is the writer purpose of writing the text? How can we answer these questions? It's actually a tricky question, but there's a tip for that. First, you have to recognize the type of the text, whether it is an analytical exposition or the other. How can we figure it out? Sure, by slightly looking up at the text structure. that we will discuss later after this. Why should we find out the text type to know the purpose? Yes, because every type of the text has its own specific communicative purpose. And this is an important information that you may note down. The communicative purpose or analytical exposition text is to convince the readers about the topic discussed. What about the text we are discussing? What is the communicative purpose then? Well, that's going to be the second step, that is to look up again at the beginning of the text, where the main topic is stated.
We have to read the first paragraph once again. As we have already got the topic, those are the benefits of eating healthfully or the benefits of a healthful diet. So we can conclude that the communicative purpose of the text is to convince the readers that eating healthfully or healthful diet is beneficial.
Okay class, we're now in the last point of social function of analytical exposition text, that is the effect of the text for the readers. The questions will be, what is the possible impact of the text to the readers? Or, if you agree with the writer's conclusion, what will you do related to the topic? How can we answer these questions? Yes, by looking up at the end of the text, that is the conclusion part.
Here is the last paragraph. From these two questions, we may looking at the conclusion stated and answer them. The impact is that the readers realize the benefit of a healthful diet. If the readers agree with the conclusion, they may start doing the healthful diet.
We have been discussing about the social function, the first point of analytical exposition text lesson. Let's go to the second one, that is the text structure. As what I stated before, that every text type has its own communicative purpose. They have also their own text structure. Analytical exposition text actually is built only by three main parts. Those are basis, arguments, and conclusion or reiteration.
Here is the whole text. Can you guess the structures? You're right. It is started by a thesis and ended by a conclusion, while the body of the text is the arguments. Or we can arrange them into a table like this. The first paragraph is the thesis, followed by 5 arguments that are started in 5 paragraphs, and the last one is the conclusion paragraph.
And now we are in the last part of analytical exposition text lesson, that is the language features. As what we have discussed in the beginning, there are 2 language features we need to recognize in the analytical exposition text. Those are tenses and conjunctions used in the text. So can you guess what kind of text that usually used in analytical exposition text? Let's check out again our text example.
Here are the first 3 paragraphs. In order to figure out the tense, let's identify the verbs used in every sentence. Here we go. We have includes, means, are, found, reduced, lowered, can, and should. Paragraph 1, which is the thesis, can be concluded as the simple present tense because of the verbs used are verbs infinitives. However, the second paragraph contains past form of the verbs, which means it is used simple past tense. It has happened because paragraph 2 presents a data that is taken from the past time, while in paragraph 3 we meet more simple present tense. To make it clear, let's review the rest of the text. Here are the verbs. Once again, we find some past form verbs such as found and identified, because they are data taken from the past, so that the verb should also be in the form of past verb. But overall, the most tense used in analytical exposition text is simple present tense. So here is the table to ease your understanding. In affirmative form, we can use infinitive verbs, or we usually call them as verb 1. We can also use verb be in the form of is, am, are, depend on the subject used. While in the negative form, we just have to put not in both auxiliary do or does or verb be. The concept of interrogative sentence is also quite similar. We just have to put the auxiliary in the front part of the sentence, or just simply add a question word.
What about the conjunctions? It is also a very simple thing. Just glance at the text and you're going to find them easily.
Here is the text we have discussed. Let's try to search the conjunctions. Have you found it? Here we go. Conjunctions are words that link together to link words, phrases, clauses, sentences, and paragraphs.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the last part of the lesson today. And please write your questions or opinion about the both activities and materials of this lesson in the comment column in this video. I have also written down the link for the website where you can find the original version of the text we have discussed in this lesson. I hope you guys may get something new today. I'm sorry if there are some mistakes during the lesson. And now, it's time to say goodbye and thank you for clicking this video and watching until the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you think it's good and useful. See you later in the next lesson. Stay safe and healthy.